Okay, this is now the 5-minute tarot for the 30th of October 2017. And today will be a 5-minute tarot because I have one point to make, and it's about what you might say or what the reader can keep in their mind about a king when it's reversed. Because people want to know what cards mean. And I think this is a useful idea when you have a reversed king. So it'll give you an understanding of what point to make or what to say about a reversed king. And I'm going to give you a quote at the end. I've got it on screen, so I'm going to read it. But before we get to that point, I need to give you the background. And that is, you know, with playing cards, you have a king, a queen, a queen, a jack, and then the ace through to the 10. So if you're playing poker, and let's say you get 5 cards, one after, if you've got a king, queen, king, queen, page, jack, and 10, that's a flush, a straight flush, let's say. But if you have ace, king, queen, jack, 10, that beats the other one because the ace is high. The ace beats the king, right? So in case you probably already knew that, but in case you didn't, then you know that the ace beats the king. So there's also a play by Shakespeare called King Lear. And the main character in the play is the king and the person. So if you're watching a stage play of King Lear, then the actor who's playing the king really, things revolve around him, so he really ought to be good. And I came across this quote from 1920 or so about an actor and a critic in the audience who gave a critique of the actor's performance as King Lear. And so it was Eugene Field, this is a quote, who haunted the declining years of Creston Clark, who was the actor, with his review of that actor's King Lear. Said he, the critic, Mr. Clark played the king all the evening, as though under constant fear that someone else was about to play the ace. So that's from the Theatre magazine in 1922. And I thought that's really witty, and because he's playing the king, but he's afraid someone's going to play the ace, and the ace trumps the king. And then I thought, maybe that's what we have in mind, or what we say with a reversed, not so much with a king, but with a reversed king. So if somebody is represented by the reversed king, then maybe some part of them is afraid that somebody is going to be better than they are, or that somebody is going to do or say something that allows that other person to take control. You know what I mean? So depending on the question and the other cards that come up, you've got this idea of fear that somebody else is going to play the ace, that somebody else is going to take over, or somebody else is going to have the spotlight on them and take away influence and respect, let's say, or adulation or admiration from the person represented by the king. So a reverse king can be somebody that can be the kind of fear. If we take the idea of a reverse king representing some kind of fear, that somebody's going to play the ace, that somebody known or unknown is going to say or do something that takes a spotlight off the king, or makes the king look bad, or makes the king realize that he thought he had power, but he doesn't, because somebody else is the ace. So the suit, you would say, maybe if it's the King of Pentacles, then it has to do with money, that somebody else is going to have more money than they do, or somebody else is going to make a better bid and get the job or get the product, whatever it happens to be, because there's money involved, or somebody's richer than the king, or somebody in representing an investment company has more money than the king does. Right, so that's because it's pentacles. Whereas if it's swords, then the king of swords may threaten, but somebody else has got more power and is going to be a more threatening position. Like they're able to be more threatening than the king is. For instance, with the king reversed. So you can take that idea of the king being afraid that somebody else is going to play the ace, which makes them feel inadequate or not as confident as they would normally be. And so because they're inadequate or feeling lack of confidence, they act from fear rather than acting from confidence. That was it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a bit and we'll see what happens next. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.